Hi there, Cancer. This is your general angel reading for the week of February 21st through 27th of 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Yetta Pearl. And so we have, the messages that come out. So they're coming out in doubles this time. And yet they're telling me to only keep one of each. So that's really interesting. So it's like it's almost like Gemini energy in a way, and yet it's definitely Cancer reading. So, well, we're going to see, what the whole of the message is that comes through. Sometimes, because there's 6 cards that come out, sometimes there are 6 individual messages. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 kind of themes sort of throughout the whole thing, and that the cards relate to each other. So we'll just see how this turns out for us for this time. For this, did I say already? This is for February 21st through 27th. I think I did say it. Okay, so let's see. This looks pretty good. So to start with, the snake card comes up. The snake represents healing. The snake represents you in healing mode. So when it says you are a healer, there's a lot of different ways that can be taken. In general, a person cannot be a healer for another person until they've been doing their own work. Some people these days call it shadow work. No matter what the name of it kind of is, it's that you're willing to have a look at your own self and see where you need to heal. See what your triggers are, see what things you're struggling with, and that you're willing to delve into that and change it and heal it within your own self. And that is what gives you kind of like the experience, right? To be able to assist anybody else. Yeah. I've also heard it said a person, a therapist, a healer, anybody can only take your clients as far as you've gone yourself. So it's the same thing, right? You have to be willing to do your own work first before you can assist anybody else. You're doing your work. It doesn't feel very good, right? For a lot of you, you're sitting there going, I wish I didn't ever try to start doing this inner work because I was way happier before. Yeah, maybe true, but it was very shallow and it was very surface. So it wasn't the real you. Now that you've delved deep into some of this, no, it's not comfortable, is it? You have to grow, you have to change, you have to decide to get rid of some old belief systems that are no longer serving you. You need to change. It's sometimes hard work, and other times it's not hard at all. It just happens, right? So, but good for you, Cancer, because you're in it now. And trust me, like, yes, it feels hard, but it's so worth it. So worth it. You're doing great. Okay. All right. You have friends. True friends stick together no matter what. So you have friends. And so like anything that you're experiencing that feels like a struggle to you, that feels like a challenge, please be willing to share that with friends. Chances are they know what you're talking about. And they can help you, even if the only way they're helping you is by listening. That's still a huge help, right? You do have a lot of friends, a lot of people who are willing to be there in this space for you. Be a little bit cautious, use a bit of discernment. There are some people who would not hold space for you. They don't know how. It's there might even be some ridicule come along with that. But when you pause a little bit before, while thinking of people, I guess, you will understand almost immediately which ones are to be trusted and which are not. not for this, right? So you get it, like, use your intuition. You have this deep, amazing intuition. So use that and let it help you decide who's with you and who's trustworthy for your innermost growth. Okay. Being silent, because that's where this part of the message started, is with you being silent and not sharing. And that isn't usually helpful, for a little while, as you kind of figure stuff out for yourself on your own. That's maybe fine, but don't continue that. Get to a point where you're willing to speak and willing to say what you've been thinking and how you've been evolving and those kinds of things. Okay, all right. Let go of control. The otter says surrender. Let go of control. Sometimes we're just trying too hard. And that is what makes it hard work. With the first card, the healing card of the snake. When you are trying too hard, it drives it away and makes it so that, you're creating all this resistance. And the healing can't happen when you have all that resistance. And so when you get to the point where you're just trying so hard and so hard and so hard, and you've got all this angst going on and everything else, and you get to a point where, screw it all anyway, because it's not working, right? And you just drop it and you say, fine, I'm just not going to do that anymore. Then it'll happen. I am serious. Personal experience talking. That is exactly how it has worked for me several times, right? And so when you can just say, enough, done, I'm not doing this anymore, and you surrender to it, that's when it all happens. Everything that you've been trying so hard to accomplish that wasn't working suddenly works. So when you can let go of the need to control it or the need to determine the outcome, then it can all flow, right? It seems backwards in a way, but it's like the easier you are about it, the more naturally it will happen for you. Okay, so try to just let go of control of it. Like, just feel good. Whatever this is, whatever the topic is that we're talking about, because there's thousands of topics, right? Whatever this topic is, let yourself be okay with it going however it goes. Like, you want what you want and put that out there, but don't just focus, just myopically on that, right? Let it be, or something better. You want this, but or something better. Because, we can't always see. We're here on this level in this lifetime. Our angels are way up and they can see everything, this beautiful bird's eye view. And they can tell that, okay, if we want this, and their job is to support us and help us, but they can see that truly that's not good for us. So in order to actually help us and support us, they have to steer us somewhere else, right? Or actively keep that away from us. So when we think that we're being, blocked, maybe we are, but it's to our benefit. So as soon as you let go of control of wanting only that one thing, then it becomes easier for our angels to steer us. Then we'll actually turn instead of still going this way. fighting to go this way. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. And relax. Everything's okay. Everything is okay. Take a deep breath and trust and know that everything's good. And our job is to simply have fun along the way. Take joy where we can find it. You know, every teeny, tiny little thing that's happening in your life right now that is a beautiful thing, stop and appreciate it. Smell the roses, you know. Just let it be good. Let it be beautiful. Let yourself understand that it all has to happen. There are reasons. And we will probably understand later what those reasons were, but we might not ever get it. It's okay. Doesn't matter. It's going where it's going, and everything is okay. Okay. Now, you have boundaries. All this, you know, going with the flow and letting go of control and all that other stuff does not mean that you can allow yourself to be trampled. That's not how it works. You have enough self-respect to be able to say to somebody, no, that's not what I choose. Thanks. And to stand your ground with that. Yeah. Like you know what feels good for you. Your intuition is spot on for you. And so when somebody else tries to ride over top of that, it is your job to stop them and say, okay, do that for you, but I'm doing what I need for me. And you do need to tell them. How do they know otherwise? They can't read your mind unless you've said this to them before, in which case, definitely stand your ground, right? Because now they're trying it on just to see, right? So yeah, stand your ground, have your boundary, and be firm about it. Okay? And the last card out of this reading, your angels, they want you to see your own light. It feels like you're feeling kind of like down and disrespected in some ways. That's not true. You are not being disrespected. There are things that happen that are not the way you specifically might want them, but it isn't personal. It's the way things are going, and you are like, it feels like your light has been dimmed a little bit because of this, but that's just your perception of it. You're not truly dimmed. You're still your amazing light being that you always were. You still have all this value. You have not lost any value. You are still as brilliant as you ever were, as you always have been. And you need to be able to see your own light. So they're just telling me to get into a dark room and close your eyes. So I suppose that technically the dark room isn't necessary because your eyes are going to be closed anyway. But this is a human perception thing. So it helps us to process it when our room is also dark. So dark room, get comfortable, close your eyes, and feel on the inside of you how light it is in there. That's really interesting. I'm going to try that too. To see if you can sense all these little, like they're showing me all these little, you know, like the fairy lights. They're teeny tiny little sparks of light, but they are everywhere, all the way through you. And they're showing me that at your core is a larger light, which is kind of like where all the little lights come from. They spread out from there. And it's really quite bright. inside of you. And that light shines, like no matter whether it's a dark room or a light room, or you're outdoors in the middle of summer with the bright sunshine or whenever, right? That light shines. It shines out through your eyes, through your soul, through every orifice, like all your pores, everything. You are shining brightly. That's beautiful. Okay, so now we have the daily guidance cards, getting one last bit of wisdom. Relationship. So this right now is specifically talking about your relationship with yourself, so that you can identify your light, so that you understand your value, so that you know that you're not a victim, so that you know that that anything that lately you've been perceiving as holding you down is not specific to you. It is kind of a blanket thing, and it applies to everybody, not just you. So don't take that personally. Okay, all right. There you have it, Cancer. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you very much. And I love you. And I will see you next week.